What's up, everybody? SC here, welcoming you back to another delicious season of the KCM. We're on Season 4 of 2022, and what better way to start that off than with a TVP, a tasty TVP. Looks like we've got Best versus Barracks here. Barracks in the top right-hand corner, Best in the top left. Yes, a very tasty TVP indeed. Goes right along with the new sponsor of the ASL. I was just watching the intro here a moment ago. Found out that either ASL or KCM, I'm not sure. Must be the ASL got sponsored by a food delivery service, perhaps. Looks like a food delivery service, although I'm not 100% sure. If anyone out there speaks Korean, wants to look it up, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, but that's exciting. Another nice sign that Broodwar is still alive and well. We've got some supporters, we've got some sponsors that are still willing to support this beautiful, beautiful game and to bring us some tasty snacks as well. So when you're going over your replays, you can chow down a little bit if you're not cringing too hard. Personally, I always cringe super hard when I watch my own replays. I feel like if you don't cringe even at least a little bit while watching your own replays of Starcraft Broodwar, especially ladder games, I don't know, you're either the best player in the world or you're just that loaded up on copium that you can't see all of the dozens and dozens of mistakes that you've made throughout the game. I know I always nitpick my games. Looks like we're here on Fighting Spirit. I actually didn't notice that until just now. This is a terrible map. I don't know why this is back in the map pool. It's super annoying. Super annoying to see this back in the map pool and on a TVP game as well. That is just not tasty at all. Yes, we've got the worst designed map. One of the most ancient maps that we have. I mean, there's so many better maps than this that they could cycle back into the map pool to mix things up and make things fun and interesting, but instead going with this map, I do not agree with this decision, but we'll have to live with it. At least we don't have Barracks spawning in the top left and Best in the top right. That would be really terrible, because it is so incredibly hard to take a third base on this map, and with your third base pointing towards as Terran versus Protoss, it's hard to take a third. And if you're Terran and your third base is towards the Protoss main base, it is just it's just so painful. You just never want to do it. You never like to see it. This map was in the map pool when I was playing Terran. I played Terran for a few seasons before eventually switching over to Zerg, but this map is burned into my memory as just one of the worst. One of the absolute worst. And right as I was kind of learning the modern game of StarCraft, after coming back from with Remastered, this is just such a pain in the ass. I felt so terrible not being able to ever take my third base and play an actual macro game against a Protoss player, but it really was map dependent, at least in my mind, and I feel like just about everybody else agrees at this point, especially Artosis just complains about this map nonstop, and I every time I hear it, I just yell at the screen, yes, this map is so bad. But we've got an Templar Archives coming down here for Best, so Best is going to play a cheese game. Even though he's on this map, he's still going to bring out the DTs here in the early game, just try to slide a couple of DTs in. He's not going for a robo, so if these DTs just walk across the map and run into mines, this is a very winnable game here for Barracks. Barracks is our most hardcore grindy Terran here right now. He's been, I guess that's not a good way to characterize him. I want to say that he's just very slowly climbing his way up in the Terran universe, in the Broodwar universe. He's been playing ASL and qualifying for ASL consistently since I think season 9. So for about 5 seasons, he's continuously gotten into ASL, so he's just grinding like an absolute champion and slowly but surely making his way up the ranks here. Now he's going to be pushing out with some tanks and a marine, but oh man, he is in a world of hurt right now. I think this is just going to be a straight up win here for Best, unless he spots this blur immediately and throws down mines. Can he actually get a mine out? No, he hasn't noticed, and he might even lose his vulture out there. No, he doesn't lose that. He's going to be retreating here. Does he have another vulture popping out right now? I don't see one, and it looks like that DT gonna run straight up here towards the main. Where's the mine? Oh my god. Oh my god, he's focusing too much on the other side of the map, and this DT just gonna run straight in here, start hitting some SCVs. Oh, there's just so much painful stuff going on for Barracks right now. He can't actually secure his main. This vulture is going to run straight up in here. The engineering bay is done. I don't see a turret on the way yet. And this DT just going to get right in here and potentially end this game. Looks like another hit with the mine. He does actually finish off that DT at the cost of a single SCV. This Dark Templar with 3 kills, doing a good job here in the main. There is a turret about to finish. Oh, there it is. It finishes, and he gets it. Very nicely done. Hey, Barracks hanging on here. Best not really getting his money's worth out of those DTs. I guess you could still call it worth here. He pushed back the push, taking hardly any losses there. He really disrupted the production in Barracks' base. He forced all these turrets. He forced kind of a panic response out of Barracks, which is to be expected, but Barracks held that about as well as the situation really possibly allowed. And now he's okay. He's not dead. He's got a chance here. I don't think he can just push out and or build 5 facts and just go for a push. Although he might consider doing that now that he's built all these turrets here, and he knows his opponent doesn't have observers yet. So there is that possibility that he just goes for a 5-fact all-in push. Like I said before, taking the third is extremely difficult, but already being at a little bit of a disadvantage, it can be very hard to end the game here with a 5-fact push. It's very tempting to try and get a third base out. Just macro up, try to get into a maxed army and take this into a long game, but it looks like 2 more facts. That's still not indicative of what his plan is here. Barracks could still be planning to get a third base. We'll see if he adds on a few more factories here, or if he throws down a command center. I think I'm seeing a command center at the bottom right-hand corner. Either that or a floating eBay. Actually, it's a floating eBay, so still up in the air. We'll see if he decides to make this an all-in or not. Now I'm starting to get a little bit worried here. I think it is going to be an all-in. We don't have that command center thrown down here. Best with about 6-7 gateways in his main base, transferring those probes. He's got the third base ready. That's a good amount of tanks. I don't think he lost a single tank during that initial push. There is a problem here. There are only so many of those scans available for Barracks. He is going to drop another scan, and he might end up not picking off this Dark Templar as well. That's really unfortunate. with no more scans here, I don't think that he can actually make this work. Going to siege up here. Pretty far away from the entrance to best base, and this is great for Best to force the siege up this far away and start turrets building this far away from his choke. Also with these dragoons in the flanking position, this is perfect play from Best. Picking off reinforcements, he's not going to allow any more tanks to move forward. There are scans available, but this is really all Best has to deal with. He just needs a couple of rounds of zealots, and he should be able to break this. There's really not that many vultures, and vulture reinforcements are being cut off. He's gonna go for it right now. There's the zealot speed as well. Zealots running forward. Good targeting on these zealots from the vultures. So there's just not enough of them, and the dragoons with the full surround, the flank. Oh, there's still a lot of tanks left over, but jumping right on top of everything. Splash damage is going to rip these tanks apart, and the tank line has been broken. Only 4 dragoons left, but every tank goes down. And this could be it, guys. This could be the end here. I don't think that Barracks has the metal now. Oh, pylon wall just in time. Maybe if he got every probe at that base, he might have a chance here, but with his supply dropping down to 70 supply. I said supply twice there, but it doesn't matter. He is in a lot of trouble here. No spinning armory. That means just one upgrade was completed, I think. +1 only. And not much hope here for Barracks. He could try a follow-up push. Looks like he's going to send a SCV down to the third base. Maybe he throws down some turrets there and tries to hold a position. Really not a lot going on in Barracks space right now. I think he's kind of wondering what to do right now. Just continuing to build. There's a Stargate coming up. Starport here. Oh my god, he's just going to start an upgrade and a Starport. Is he actually going to try and take a third base? He's going to mine out before he can get into a good position to push once again. He'll be very close to mined out by the time he gets to 160 supply. Arbiter Tribunus coming out. We've got another factory coming down. 2 more factories. So he's just going to once again try to end this game. I think if Best gets caught off by surprise in this situation, I don't think that he deserves to call himself a pro gamer, so he will definitely be ready for it. He's got a complete vision of what is actually available to Barracks right now. There are no hidden bases. There's no third base. So he's just going to go ahead and grab his own 4th. Continue adding on gateways here for himself. Just keep on pumping out those units. He should be getting into Templar here as well. And that's really the final straw here, I think, for Barracks' attack. When he actually comes out, he's going to have a good number of tanks. He's going to have a second upgrade as well. It'll be +2-0. Oh no, it'll be 1-1, right? He doesn't have a science facility yet. I'm not sure why he's even getting that starport, because by the time the science facility starts, or finishes, excuse me, and another armory is ready, yeah, it's going to be too late for this push anyway, but let's see how it goes. He's going to go for it. We're at 130 supply. I think he needs to wait just a little bit longer here, although every second is kind of helping Best in a real sense. We're almost at a max supply here, and look at Barracks sieging before he even leaves his ramp here, his forward ramp. I think that Best just going to absolutely crush this army. As a third base starts to come up here, a drop into the main. It's a good idea, but it's already been countered here by Best. He doesn't mind having a few units in his main base just to hold this off. He's moving forward. Okay, there's a good position now for Barracks. A good position can mean the world here, but a counterattack may end up just taking his entire strategy apart. This counterattack is going to be very hard to hold right now. A bunch more mines being thrown down, but Great use of those forward zealots just to run forward and deal with those mines there, picking them off. Now a Arbiter gonna come out here. Is there a scan? Where's the scan? Scan, no scan. Okay, the scan was super late. The flank of zealots coming around the side here. There's so many. They're gonna dive all over these tanks, and although the Nexus goes down here in the front, this army just gonna completely surround and crush this small Terran force, and Best is gonna take this first game. There's really not much left for Barracks here, as the 4th base already mining. Here comes this drop, gets completely shut down, and that's got to be that. I think that Best will be very happy with this first game, of course, on a extremely imbalanced map, but still a win nonetheless. Not, again, a good start for Terran. Previous season was brutal for them, so I feel a little bit bad here that it's starting out in this fashion once again. Barracks, he's still gonna hang in there like the true grind player that he is. Just been fighting his way up against these crazy strong Protoss for quite a long time. This is actually his worst matchup. I think he's got like a 39% win rate on Wikipedia against Protoss. That's yeah, that's rough. I mean, it's still impressive if you consider those are mostly ASL games, but it's definitely not his best matchup. He's not able to put his best foot forward here. Everything kind of going wrong here for Barracks, and he is going to secure that 3rd base for now, but Best, he's got his Arbiters out. He's going to get the recalls going here pretty soon. He's going to have basically every tool in the tool belt here for Protoss. Kind of surprised that he ended up going for Arbiter instead of Templar here, but it's a way to play, and it's tried and true. It's also incredibly strong, and hard to make a mistake that can end up losing this game. It's just gonna dive right in here. Big stasis in the front, gets a whole bunch of vultures, and he's just gonna pour in here. Not really a whole lot that Barracks can do against this supply of Protoss. GG is finally called, and Barracks taps out. Best takes game number 1. Barracks gets knocked out, and we're on now to game number 2. We've got Beast spawning up here in the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg player, and down in the bottom right, it's Best. Let's see if he can go on a spree this week. Best is a little bit hit and miss in KCM. Sometimes he is amazing, sometimes he just crushes, and other weeks he struggles and gets knocked out by some would consider lesser players. So we'll see if Beast can take him down here. Beast, definitely I would consider a lesser player than Best. He has competed in the ASL before, but not recently. I think his last showing was ASL Season 12. Got knocked out in the group stages. But more of a rookie player. I don't have too much to say about him. It's been a while since I've watched Beast play, actually. We'll see how he's doing in this current meta. It's yeah, it's definitely been a while, so yeah, he hasn't come out to many KCMs so far, but he is a strong player. Definitely a contender here. I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to take down Best with a Hydra Bust or something like that, but I'm not sure if he can take him in the very late game PVZ. Looks like a Nexus first here from Best. He's got the early probe and the early scout here. Lucky early scout. Gonna take full advantage of that. Oh, he almost blocks the hatchery. That would have been nice. Getting the block there would have been perfect. But Beast does manage to set that down. We are on Polypoid, by the way, so this is another older map, but definitely a much better map than Fighting Spirit. That map is... that thing has got to go in the garbage here pretty soon. I think it's just about run out of its usefulness. Now, we have the spawning pool done, but not really many lings here, and that makes sense from what Beast has seen so far. The super early probe, you can pretty much assume that it's going to be a Forge expansion with a cannon. You really don't need to produce too many lings here. The gateway is going to be a bit late. If you're going to go for a gateway first, generally you scout with the probe after producing the gateway, so... Oh, okay. Yeah, we may end up seeing a Hydra bust here. I'm not sure if that's 100% the case, but Beast scouted upper left. He knows that the Protoss is not there. So the reasonable choice would either be to take the mineral only in front of the base if you're going to play a macro game, or top center. That's going to be the farthest base away from the Protoss, but taking this base here in the center right is an interesting choice, and it does allow for a very, very quick rally across the map if you're going for a Hydra game. Now, he picks off the probe with just 4 lings. That was some good control there. Almost managed to slip into the main, but he does block that off. And with the third base in this position, I would not be surprised even a little bit if we see a Hydra Den thrown down right now. Looks like a probe sliding around the side of the map. It will be spotted here. Nope, we've got a layer. Okay, so layer is on the way. Not a Hydralisk bust. We'll see what role this will play here. The base, the third base on that center right position. Looks like this Zealot would just barely be spotted. Okay, I was afraid that that was going to get out on the map without Beast being aware, but he does manage to see that. Of course, we have the Stargate on the way. That third base now finished up Spire as well, so everything looking very, very normal and natural here. Let's just see how Beast handles these couple of early Zealots. How is he going to control against this? Looks like he's already got speed. He's got the good amount of lings. He gets this around perfectly. Oh, so good. There we go, Beast. Getting a great start here in this game against Best. Oh, and he spots the Zealot as well. Very, very nice. That Overlord making the rounds there, just getting him some great information. Now he's going to lose 1 ling for a Zealot. That is fantastic. 25 minerals to 100 minerals. So he definitely gets his value out of those lings. Now producing a few more, just making sure he's got enough. I think that was a little bit of an overreaction. He should be droning up right now because his opponent's just going to be flying around with a few Corsairs. Look, he's spreading things around. He doesn't actually know if there's another Zealot on the map, but he is completely safe right now and free to drone as he pleases. 700 minerals in the bank. He should be throwing down a couple of hatcheries here relatively soon. Oh, where'd all that money go? I think there's something in the base. Did he actually throw down another building there? Looks like he's going to get a great surround on these 3 Zealots. Taking one down already without losing a single ling. That was nice. So those lings, I didn't think that Best would move out, so I thought those lings were going to be completely useless, but... Ooh, double Hydra Den. What is this? And Muta's being built. Okay, I don't know what is going on now. I'm completely lost. I guess it's going to be a later Hydralisk bust. He's going to completely fake out Best here and force him to kind of produce some additional cannons in the main. You can see he's already done so. 2 cannons in the main. The Mutas here are going to force even more cannons behind the mineral patches. And there's 3 cannons up at the front. Can Beast break this here? He is 100% going to try and break this. He's only got like 4 drones at his third base, and he's just purely producing Hydra with double upgrade. This is a crazy, crazy all-in bust. and it's been completely unscouted so far by Best, so has a pretty high chance of succeeding here as long as he can keep this hidden just a little while longer and break down this wall. Yeah, this is it, man. I think that Best is gonna get broken. This is a sick build, actually. This is not something that I've seen before, but I'm really, my brain is like growing extra. There's extra folds on my brain now after this game, man. This is crazy. The Mutalisk attack into double Hydralisk Den, it makes so little sense. Look, he's forced 2 Stargates. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good for Beast. He's just going to break down this wall and run straight in here. His opponent has hardly any Zealots, and they don't have speed or anything. He's going to pull the probes, but this is so many Hydras. Hydra's going for 1 cannon. He's picking off the wall here. The Zealots are going down pretty quick. The cannons are getting some good shots off, though. I wonder if this has actually been botched here by Beast. No, I think he's going to still be fine. He's coming in with the Mutas, going to pick off this last cannon. A couple more cannons are coming up, but there's so many Hydras. He's just going to break straight through here, kill off this last cannon, and that should be that. He even gets a couple of Corsairs there with his Scourge. And yeah, Best is done, man. That was a sick build. Beast still rallying Hydras here, although he is supply blocked right now. He's lost every single Overlord back at home, so he can't actually produce anything right now. He's going to get up here into the main. There's some Templar going to be popping out soon, but they don't have the energy for Storm, and even if they did, I think that... Oh, okay, my bad. Couple of DTs, actually. Couple of DTs pop out and start to pick things off. Beast not reacting. He's just going after this gateway. Where is this Overlord, actually? And the Nexus is still alive. Hold on. Hold on. He blocks the ramp and just lets the DT do his work on those Hydras in the main. Okay, there we go. Overlord's speed is done now. So this should be an inevitable, I can't even speak right now, inevitable victory here for Beast. I think, though, Best putting up a valiant fight. He is going to lose the Nexus here in a second. And, yeah, his opponent has almost no drones whatsoever. If you look at the third base, I think there's still just 4 drones. So Best is still trying to hang in there, but with just a couple of Zealots popping out at a time, these gateways are not going to finish. And the DTs coming forward here, they're going to try and do their best, but focusing on the DTs like you should, getting rid of those high damage units quickly. GG is called. Beast takes him down. Ho ho. I think we're going to be seeing that build again in the future. That was a really sick build. Forcing the Corsairs off the map with the Mutas, it seems like it's impossible to tell if your opponent is droning or switching into Hydra. That's a pretty cool strat. I love it. I want to see more of it. I want to see more of what Beast has. Let's see him against a Terran player. That's coming up, game number 3. Okay, the young rookie Beast really impressing me here in this in game number 2 against Best. Now he's going up against Sharp. We got Sharp in the top right, Beast in the bottom left. This is, of course, oh, actually, it's Allegro. I thought it was Eclipse for a second. That tile set threw me off. But yeah, I believe it is Allegro. Gonna have Sharp start off here with a wall, and we'll see what Beast has for ZVT. Maybe he's gonna bring out some more interesting stuff. Probably nothing as crazy as that last game, but you never know. Maybe has some sort of strategy to show us. Looks like he's going to be going for a 12 hatch play. And Sharp just chilling here. He is the most aggressive Terran player that we have. I think even more aggressive than Rush. He's always up in the face. He loves his vultures. Even in this matchup, we might see him transition into vulture tank. or just add in vultures into his marine medic army, because he just loves to throw down mines. I don't know what it is, this guy. Vulture is his spirit animal. Gonna be checking down here in the bottom right. Will not find his opponent, but he is gonna find him on the second run. We gotta watch out for Sharp here as well. I was just talking about Beast, how he can be an innovator, but Sharp absolutely can bring out some craziness to throw off his Zerg opponent. Looks like the drone gonna get out here and do some nice blocking. Wow, that was some really good blocking there. He almost gets the moving shot as well, and I think he actually will. Yeah, there we go. Moving shot. Oh, messes it up a little bit, but that's fine. Put some good damage on that SCV. It's more important than doing damage to a pro, because the SCV will never heal from this. So, oh man, this is crazy. He's getting so much damage on this. I think 4 more shots he will be able to pick it off. Just 3 more now. Very, very close to losing this early scout, and this is not something we usually see at the pro level of play, but he does pick that off even before the first Zerglings pop, so that's crazy. We're really slowing down and limiting the vision of Sharp, his ability to find out what's going on this map. Now, we have an early engineering bay from Sharp. He's going to be going for a quick +1 in the academy follow-up. This is a bit of an older build, but still very, very strong mid-game from this. Of course, the early game going to be a little bit weak against the two hatch Muta, which appears to be what Beast is doing. We'll see, though. He sees the wall in. Maybe he wants to do something a little bit different. Maybe he wants to get a Hydra Den and go for Lurker or something. So far, we're not seeing it. I think it's just going to be 2 hatch Muta. And if it is, it should just be a very standard game from, I would say, like 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. 2 hatch Muta versus the early +1. That was in vogue for quite a while here. Oh, actually, look at that. The 2.5 hatch. So a bit of a more modern build, I would say. Came around about a year or so ago. 2.5 hatch, which is where you get your Spire and then immediately get the 3rd hatchery in base afterwards. So a little bit quicker on the Mutas than the traditional 3 hatch play, but it will give you more larva than the just straight up 2 hatch. So, did I say 2 hatch twice? I think I did. 3 hatch is faster than the 3 hatch, but more powerful than the 2 hatch. That's what I should say. Gives you a bit more larva, a bit more production. It's a middle ground build. That's why it's called the 2.5, and it is a more modern way to play. It runs a fine line. Oh, that drone's not mining. Oh, that's so bad. Oh no, I don't think he'll notice that either. Oh man, that really sucks for Beast. He's moving very, very fast. You can see 440 APM just darting around between his bases here, and yeah, okay, maybe he didn't notice it now. I can see him looking at his main for quite a little while there, so hopefully he did notice that, because that is, although it is only 1 drone, in this situation, that is a pretty sizable amount of his economy. He's going to be thrown off just a little bit by that. He won't have the minerals that he needs to, for instance, build this 3rd hatchery at the time that he exactly wants. He won't have mutas exactly when he generally has them. Nothing has gone wrong in terms of his of what Sharp has done to him, but he's just made it a little bit harder for himself here by kind of sacrificing 1 drone in that he's just not using it right now. Now, looks like the Mutas bit of miss micro there at the start. He was kind of hitting those supply depots, not expecting Sharp to come out, but Sharp just comes running out in his regular aggressive fashion. and takes on those mutas, does quite a bit of damage to a few of them. Looks like a few straggler Marines here are gonna get picked off. I think one muta just went down there. I think I heard that. That was like one Marine shot killed that muta. That's kind of crazy. Well, it must have been a super low HP. Now we've only got medium well done mutas here. Oh, there's another well done muta, just gets taken out. I think Sharp is starting to run away with this right now. He's got a big clump of Marine Medic, and I don't know if Beast can overwhelm here. He's just trying to pump out as many mutas as he can. He doesn't have any sunken defense back at home, so he's just completely relying on this mutalist force, and he has been non-stop production. But Sharp, his army just looks better to me, and he hasn't taken a lot of damage. He's doing a great job keeping his Marines together in a nice ball here, and taking the fights perfectly so far. Oh, another missed shot there from Beast. Not able to get a shot. Again, he misses a shot. Oh my god, this is so bad. Beast coming in with the mutas and just not firing. He's starting to lose drones now. More mutas flying in and just dying here. He's going to run up towards the drone line and just start to pick off as many as he can here. I think this is finally going to tip in the favor of Beast. Eventually, he will be able to pick this off. He's right on top of his own rally. Some more reinforcements come up, but oh my god, every muta is so low. And he's focusing down drones and the hatchery as well. There comes some more mutas. And I think maybe he can finish this off, but this is so much damage. He's focusing down the last couple of mutas. And another wave of 4 Marines just rallying straight up here. Oh my god, GG. Beast gets taken down by just clean pushing from Sharp. Sharp with the control, the muta, or the Marine Medic control, but I guess Beast a little bit thrown off in that game. He didn't have one of his drones mining. I know I'm giving him an excuse. I'm giving him an out, but he definitely wasn't on his best play there. Missing that one drone, and also with some pretty hefty micro mistakes in the early part of that fight, where he was hitting that supply depot and almost lost a muta. That's a little bit unforgivable in this level of play. Sharp is definitely not going to forgive you for losing a mutalist there. He's going to push that advantage all the way to your base and take that fight, and that's what he did. He takes down Beast and will move on. Let's go on to game number 4. Shuttle is going to be our next player to join the fight here. He's down in the bottom right-hand corner. Sharp at the top right. We are on Butter, of course. And a Beast, he showed us some cool stuff. He does get taken down, but I want to see more of him in the future here on KCM. I think he showed definitely some innovative play. And maybe the nerves got to him. Maybe he just wasn't on his game there. But it's rare for a Zerg of his caliber to get taken down that quickly, just by some standard Marine Medic pushing. Looks like the gas getting stolen here. That's a bit frustrating, but it is a 2-player map. It's kind of expected. We'll see how Shuttle does here against Sharp. Shuttle was one of my my picks for, I think it was ASL 12. I thought he was doing amazingly well in a season, or in a situation where Protoss hadn't been able to handle Zerg for quite a while. ASL was getting a little bit dominated by Zerg. And I felt like he had some really good ideas. I felt like he was pretty darn good in the late game, which is where a lot of these Zerg versus Protoss games do end up going, and become very, very difficult for the Protoss to take down Zerg players in the Hive Tech universe, with the plagues, the dark swarms, lurkers, lings just running around the map. It's super tough. A lot of players, Protoss players, just aim to take down the Zerg a bit earlier than that, because it is just such a pain to deal with. Oh, an engineering bay gets thrown down here. He does lose the SCV, but we'll delay this just by a tiny bit. He is going to kill this gas. And cancel. Okay, I think he did get the money back. And like I was saying, yeah, he was just he was having a an interesting way of playing the late game. He really did utilize Reavers very, very well, and his Archon play was very, very good. I just felt like he was well positioned in ASL 12 to potentially take a victory. However, he seems to struggle with nerves for sure on the big stage. He's never really gone super deep into ASL. Actually, I'm not 100% sure on that. It's been a while since I've looked at Shuttle, his Wikipedia page, or not his Wikipedia page, excuse me, his Liquipedia page. How far did Shuttle go? Okay, ASL, yeah, he actually, okay, excuse me. ASL Season 1, he actually beat Sharp and took first place. So he was the winner of ASL Season 1. I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about ASL Season 1. That was before a lot of players had kind of returned to the Broodwar scene. That was kind of the resurgence of Broodwar. Not to take anything away from Shuttle, but that was very, very early on. He managed to take an ASL victory, so he is a former ASL champion. Definitely a nice thing to have on the old resume. He also managed to get, I think, 6th place, looks like here. No, 4th place in Season 6 as well, so it's been a little while since his glory days, but they were there. There was definitely some glory in the past, and actually taking away the ASL victory from Sharp. That's kind of funny that I completely forgot about that, but yes, he did do that, and maybe Sharp looking for a bit of revenge here. I'm sure they've played many, many games against each other since then, but that type of thing sticks with you, man. When you when you get 3-0'd in the finals of ASL, that person becomes your possibly your nemesis for the rest of your life. You gotta kind of prove, you got something to prove anytime you go up against this person in a competitive sense. Now Sharp sending out his first couple of vultures here. Gonna get over towards the natural. This is what Sharp really excels at. He's very, very good at getting his vultures into a good position. And of course, as I say that, Caster's Curse, he runs straight into a bunch of Dragoons and loses one of them immediately. Looks like he does get a great mine there at least, so that's good. Getting that mine down was fantastic. He almost gets the probe as well, but the probe does manage to escape, and both those first 2 vultures get picked off. Sharp is really well known for not just getting his vultures into good positions, but also picking off tons and tons of probes with his quick vulture attacks, with his run-bys. So we'll see if he's able to do that this game. Looks like another vulture moving around the side of the map. Sharp, oh, Sharp, is he in trouble here? He's got 1 tank. He's got a bunker. Okay, he's got 2 tanks and a bunker. I think he's going to be fine here. As long as he gets the repairs, as long as he gets the block off if the Dragoons decide to dive. This is quite a fair number of Dragoons. There's the siege mode. A little bit dangerous, but Sharp going to hang on here for now. He cannot really leave his base anymore. He's got 1 vulture on the map, but that is that. That's all he's got. So he's going to have to sit here and just build up his forces and try to prevent any additional bases from going down. Yeah, look at this. He's going to get right on top of this probe. Nicely done. Going to heal up this vulture as well. Great moves here from Sharp. I would have liked to see him throw down a mine in that position, although it probably was just going to get cleaned out anyway. Looks like Shuttle going to move back with his Dragoons, just taking them away from the front for a moment. Maybe Sharp can slip out a couple more Vultures here, try to get something done. Here's 2 more factories. Engineering bay is a little bit in trouble. If he focuses on that and keeps his Dragons moving forward, I think he can actually pick that off. Oh, it's really close. Yeah, it does go down. That's a bit annoying there. Another 125 minerals will have to be spent to remake that engineering bay. Unless he has every turret that he wants for the rest of the game. I don't think so, though. Third base is being set up here. Shuttle is mining. There's 4 factories in the main here for Sharp, so no definitive answer as to whether or not he's planning to take a third or go for a big attack just yet. We're still waiting for confirmation on what the plan is here. More gateways coming up. Shuttle going to be going for, looks like speed style here. Maybe not even speed. It might just be full-on gateway production, just pure Zealot Dragoon. I think some Templar will be added on soon, but we don't have the... Oh yeah, double upgrades as well. We don't have the robotic support bay just yet. Okay, actually that's 5 facts, so maybe he is going for a full-on attack here. I think that might be what we're seeing. Sharp just going to power up here onto 5 facts and just go for it with a huge push in a moment. Still trying to sneak in, but Vulture's speed is not done. That's a bit surprising. Sharp, like I said, he's the guy who gets that damage done with his Vultures. Just in general, he's very, very strong with his Vulture play, so surprised that he didn't want to get speed a little bit earlier. There we go. Now has speed, now moving across the map. This 5-fact play, can Shuttle hold it off? It's going to be tough, but he does have a ton of gateways. He's not transitioning into any other sort of tech right now. He's just got a couple of shuttles, a whole bunch of Dragoons. This is not the greatest engage, though. Oh, man, only a few. Oh, only 1 or 2 Zealots actually managed to get out there. Oh, that's really, really painful. Oh, Vulture's running in here. Beautiful play from Sharp. This is what I'm talking about. Gets in here, gonna get a ton of probe kills while this battle is going on. Oh, oh my god, that was so perfect. Oh, so nicely done by Sharp, just putting down those mines right beside the gateways so that when the Zealots pop out, the probe line gets absolutely decimated. That was fantastic. And Sharp has done more than enough with this push. He can fall back onto this third base now and be completely happy. He does not need to make this push. He does not have to destroy his opponent with this push. He could just absolutely fall back, get another armory, get into his upgrades, and be absolutely fine. He is going to push forward, however, feeling himself right now, feeling that there's blood in the water. He's going to try to push a little bit farther. Going to try to rally up some tanks here and continue this forward. The third base is now about to be done. There's the science facility and the second armory, so he will be transitioning here into a later game, but you know, if he can end the game right now, and Shuttle can't stop him, why not? Might as well do it. Looks like some Vulture's going to get up here into the third. Oh, there are 3 Dragoons, though. That's great for Shuttle, but it's only going to buy him so much time as the tanks are slowly moving forward here. There's a great number of mines at the front. Here we go. Do we have the Storm? There's the Storm on some pretty clumped up tanks and Vultures, but really good movement here by Sharp, just avoiding a lot of them. There's another nice Storm on the Vultures, dealing a lot of damage. He's going to get these 2 tanks as well, but mines actually pick off a whole bunch of Dragoons. So many Dragoons just died there. to a couple of mines, and now Sharp holds this position. I really thought he was going to be broken there, but he manages to hang on. He's got his third base up and running. Gonna send some vultures over here to the third base, just clean up these probes. Only one cannon, so it's fine. He's gonna run away again. Vultures doing their vulture-y things. And Sharp, I think he did the right thing now. Just fall back with that last tank. Give up on this push for now. Just start to macro up a little bit harder and wait for a bigger supply before moving out. He is still rushing around, looking for more probes to kill, but Shuttle is pretty Loctite here in on most of his bases. I think only the third base is really vulnerable. Maybe a run by into the main would be possible as well, but that the fourth base is vulnerable. The third is pretty well locked down with pylon walls and cannons. So we'll see where Sharp decides to harass next. Is he just going to hang back here? I believe so. Look, he's even getting his turrets up here in the middle. He's throwing down mines everywhere, making sure that he can stretch himself out adequately to defend the third base and his natural as well. And he's been given tons of time to do this. He's going to have a perfect setup here with which to bat away any attack coming from Shuttle. Any Shuttle attack that's coming forward right now, any attack from him is going to be very, very weak because he's lost so many probes. This strategy, this sort of gateway heavy strategy where you're just building tons and tons of Zealot Dragoon and dropping some Templars, it relies on you having a economic advantage. You absolutely need to be mining more than your opponent because you have to be producing more than your opponent. Your army value is just not as high. It's just not as technical a play. Of course, you can get some crazy good storms that can win you games, but generally you're just hoping for an overwhelming number of Zealot Dragoon and a couple of reasonable storms. If he was going for Arbiter or something like that, maybe it would be a different story. He could get an excellent recall in, or a fantastic stasis that could swing a big fight. But right now, I think that things are really, really hard for Shuttle because he was relying on overwhelming numbers and he just doesn't have it anymore. He is getting close to max, but his opponent is already 150 supply. And he is sitting here in a very nice defensive position. He will get to max. And it's going to be up to Shuttle to find a way in, maybe force Shuttle or Sharp to engage with his army before this max out comes. Let's see. Shuttle moving up towards this left-hand side. He is nearly max. He's got 4 bases. His probe count has been resaturated. Let's see if he can break Sharp somewhere here. Sharp is reacting very nicely, just moving all his stuff towards that upper left. He's got tons of tanks in that location, but he's kind of moved away from this natural area. Let's see if he can get through here. There's a D-Matrix in the front line. Where are these storms? There's a storm on the right-hand side, but the majority of the tanks and vultures are here in this little clump. Oh my god, big storm there. Zealots running up on top of all this stuff. The Dragoons are getting splattered incredibly fast. Where's the storm? Oh, there's no more storm energy. Oh god, that's really, really rough. Shuttle is gonna, I think, take down the rest of these tanks here at the third base, but his army has been completely wiped. We're now even on army supply here. That was a good number of tanks that got taken out, but there's still quite a few tanks left over. That tank is going to survive as well. Nice repair there. Shuttle with quite a bit of money in the bank. He's starting to remake his army here, but I think that Sharp is going to be happy with that result. Oh, he picks off that probe as well. So frustrating. He's going to send even more vultures over here to potentially deny that probe even further. Very, very annoying play. But absolutely where you want to be, what you want to be doing here as a Terran in this situation. Oh, gonna take some damage there as well from a single mine. Looks like Sharp actually ahead in supply here. Very, very scary stuff. He's gonna be taking his 4th base relatively soon. There's an Arbiter transition coming. Shuttle knows he needs something else. He can't just continue to try and fight like he has been doing. with the pure gateway army. It's just not going to be tenable here because Sharp is going to get into 4 base. He's going to get his army supply back to max, likely before Shuttle. In fact, his the army supply is starting to go into Shuttle's favor, but Sharp was ahead for quite a while there. So yeah, just overwhelming numbers not going to be an option here for Shuttle. He needs something else. He's going to go into Arbiter, possibly into a recall here. As your Terran opponent gets more and more spread out on the map, those recalls can become stronger and stronger. He doesn't know about that Arbiter transition, but Shuttle is still going to need a few more good fights, a few more fights to go in his favor here before he gets into those Arbiters. Arbiters are still a little ways away. Maybe he can prevent this 4th base from coming down. Maybe he can get it to cancel. That would be huge. Yeah, he does get over here, and he should be able to just throw a few zealots at that command center. Okay, he's moving his entire army. I don't know what that's all about, but okay, Shuttle's gonna lose. Oh, he almost lost his Shuttle there. Shuttle almost lost his poor Shuttle, but he manages to keep that alive. Now, this Vulture attack. Ooh, Templar getting picked off. Only 1 Templar remains, and this base over here in the corner. Oh my God, is he gonna run his army into this? Are you kidding me? Look at how many tanks there are. Oh my God, this is doom. This is death. Shuttle just ramming his Zealot Dragoon army into that top corner. That's not what I was talking about when I said that he needed some good fights there. Before the Arbiters come out. He absolutely needs to take a couple of good fights so that he can buy some time for his Arbiters to come out. But now he's just kind of thrown away a ton of units, and this does not bode well for our Protoss player. He is getting that transition going. There we go. He's got the Arbiter Tribunal. There's the first Arbiter. He's bought potentially enough time. He actually killed the 4th kill was huge. Stopping that 4th from going down, absolutely massive. But Sharp will still have this 2-2 attack. He's probably upgrading 3, +3 right now as we speak. He's got plenty of minerals in the bank. He's at 174 supply. He lost quite a bit of supply depots, so a little bit supply blocked at the moment, but his army is huge. He can absolutely push up onto the boomerang left side of the map. There it is. +3 is done. He was kind of hanging back, waiting for that to kick in. But now that it's here, he can get up onto this highest of high ground here on the left-hand side. Siege up and then take bases on the left. Oh, he's actually taking this base. Okay, taking the base on the right side here. Getting some turrets. This is excellent, actually, for the Arbiter defense. Having those turrets there is fantastic because the main definitely going to be a target there if there is going to be a recall. Now, Sharp moving up towards the top left because Shuttle is threatening towards that 3rd base. Oh my God, is he going to go around this top side again? Please do not do that. Oh, EMP already. EMP's the Arbiter. Oh God, not even going to get 1 spell off with this Arbiter. That's so painful. Shuttle spending a lot of time teching to this Arbiter, trying to keep this, trying to get this going. Oh, another EMP goes down on the Templar as well. Oh, this is so painful to watch. So many Zealots running in, and he's just gonna bail out now. Oh my God, this is this is so rough. Oh man, what are you doing, Shuttle? Why are you going up to the top left-hand corner? He's gonna attack in multiple places at the same time, but oh, great storms there. Actually picking off both those tanks. So he's just pure Dragoon versus pure Vulture at the moment. This is a pretty good fight for the Dragoons, and he's gonna need some tanks up here before he can do anything. There we go, gonna come in once again. The Zealots just getting minced by these mines here. Oh my God, so many of them going down, but Dragoons cleaned up on the right-hand side. Dragoons up here in the top left are gonna get cleaned up as well. This command center not under much of a threat, is burning a little bit, but The tanks in the background just shelling everything as it runs forward, so Shuttle will have to pull away here. He has a 5th base, he's building more Arbiters, but he's really struggling right now to find any damage, whereas Sharp is, he's doing fine. He's got 4 bases. He is completely fine for the late game. He's going to build up to another 200 supply, 3-3 army, and push across the map, and it'll be very hard for Shuttle to deal with that. Hopefully he's got a couple of Arbiter spells and doesn't get EMP'd, otherwise it's going to be a complete wash in the favor of Sharp. But we'll see. Let's withhold judgment for a little bit longer. This army is getting split up, going around this big map doodad. Very, very annoying stuff. Sometimes when you're moving armies of this size, they just don't all path in the same direction for whatever reason. They walk around different areas, and you can end up splitting up your army. But Sharp is moving down here towards the bottom right-hand side, taking the far right path right now. This is a pretty cramped area. Is very good for funneling Protoss units, but storms can be extremely painful when your army is grouped up like this. And just like that, the storms, one more storm. Oh, he needed one more storm there to finish off that huge group of tanks. Look at all those tanks just stacked up on top of each other. That's exactly what I was talking about. So many tanks just sitting right next to each other, that very cramped area. He's going to be pushing forward here. 30 supply advantage for Sharp, so I guess a lot of units died off screen before those storms came down, so there's really not too much left for Sharp here, and he's losing the remainder of his Dragoons in the front. These mines doing so much damage. The rally point's just running straight out here. The EMP goes down as well. Sharp sieging up right in the face of Shuttle, and this should be GG. Shuttle loses his final Arbiter, and the tanks are right here in his face, shelling his bases. GG. Shuttle taps out, and Sharp will advance.
Hi guys, this is Youngji, and thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be with you guys and this gorgeous tteokbokki. I don't know I'm doing right, but most important thing is I'm with this very delicious tteokbokki and delicious chadol topping and delicious mandu topping and delicious mechoori topping. You guys need to enjoy this Korean tteokbokki. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that commercial break. It is fantastic to see a company supporting the ASL and the KCM. They're doing a great job keeping this game alive. And KCM, as you can see, a real showman. I was just watching him testing the merchandise there in the commercial break, and he does a great job of just showing off and making it look real delicious. So if I was there in Korea, I would absolutely be buying their food. But if you do want to support KCM, and I do encourage you guys to do this, go over to his video. The link is in the description below. Leave a like and a comment. Say NSC sent you. Just it was also cool. I mean, they even did English. They did English advertisement as well. That's something right there. Actually starting to recognize that there are English viewers as well out there. And so you should go ahead and recognize them as well. Go over there and leave a comment and just let them know that you appreciate what they're doing and that you'd love an official English cast. That would be fantastic, right guys? We'd love to see an official English cast. Of course, it is awesome that KCM allows me to do this, that he's giving me permission. But they should really bring back English cast, man. I was so sad when they got rid of the ASL official cast. One of the saddest days, really. It was I think worse than when my channel got banned the first time. Actually, I 100% will say that it was worse. I would say about 10 times worse when I found out that the Tastosis cast of ASL was finished. I was so distraught, actually more distraught that it sounds kind of funny to think back to it now and just imagine my earlier self. How upset I was back then, but yeah, it was a big moment. It was a scary moment for ASL and Broodwar, but I'm glad that we've bounced back from that. I'm glad that the Tastosis cast continues to exist, and in its current form at least, and you know, we've got other people casting it as well, so that's good. I wish they would open it up a little bit more, but I'm really happy to see that ASL is doing well and that they're getting some advertisers as well. So I think I'm going to put some more footage up on the screen, but from now on we're going to get into this game. We've got Hero versus Sharp. This is on Nemesis. We've got Sharp blocking off his entrance, going for a 1-1-1 build most likely. He's got the factory almost completed. We're going to see if he throws down a starport here in a moment. Hero did scout with an early drone, didn't manage to get in and see anything. I think he might have been able to get close enough to see the command center if there was one thrown down, but he didn't actually see that. So we'll see if he throws down a sunken colony in response to that. Now, I don't see any starport. Instead, a command center has been thrown down. We've got 200 gas in the bank, so a little bit of extra gas there for Sharp. Maybe he's going to drop 2 starports here in a second. It doesn't really make sense to have this much gas at this point if he's not going to go for some more aggressive teching. He does see the Spire here with the SCV, and yes, there is that sunken colony at the front. This vulture should be pushed away easily. There's a Ling there on the ramp, so he's not going to be able to get by there. Didn't that fire? I'm sorry, did that miss? The vulture still has full HP, if I'm not mistaken. That was weird. I've never seen a sunken colony miss on regular ground before. That seems kind of ridiculously unlucky. Do they have a mischance? I think everything has some sort of mischance, right? But I really didn't think that was true for buildings. Now I'm questioning my game knowledge here, but I guess that missed. Crazy. Now, Hero's going to throw down the hatchery there in the front just to make sure that nothing runs by. And a second starport, it is going to be Sharp. He's picking up the frequency from my broadcast. He's following my wishes here and throwing down a second starport. He's going to make this kind of a crazy game here against Hero. Oh no, oh god, okay, excuse me. I thought that was a second starport, I don't know why. But it is an eBay. Oh, now I'm embarrassed. That's unfortunate. It is in fact an eBay, and we've got a single starport here. There's going to be a defensive play out of Sharp. Makes sense because he's not really going to have an opportunity to get aggressive at all with his wraiths if he was going to pop them out. Mutalisks are already out here on the field. There's a wide spread of overlords as well, so he's going to see anything coming. He's going to lose this vulture as well. So Sharp just going to go for kind of a strange build here. Directly into super quick Valkyrie. Okay, interesting. I've actually heard something about this on Artosis' channel. It's talking about how powerful this actually is. It can be very strong against the 2-hatch Mutaplay, which is exactly kind of what Hero's gone for. I guess it was a 2.5 hatch, the hatch there in the front. He's grabbing his third base at the moment, but this has been completely deflected. Looks like Hero's not going to be building any more mutas whatsoever. He's got about 5-6 right now in total, so not an committal into Mutalisks. That's kind of only 4 actually, so that's really good for Hero. Kind of what you're hoping for here as Sharp, I think, is for him to do a normal 2-hatch build. A 2-hatch that just involves spamming out Mutalisks there in the early game, making 6 immediately, and then following up with extra Mutas. You get about 8 or 10 Mutas on the field before you even start to attack, and then the moment you see that there are Valkyries, you're just kind of screwed. You've already spent so much resources into a unit that's just not going to do anything, so that's not the case here, but Sharp, his build is working right now. He's completely deflected the Mutalisk. He's not gained himself an enormous advantage here. We're still in a decent position for Hero at the moment. But he's not going to get any damage onto Sharp, and Sharp's going to be able to play his game from here on out. We've, of course, got Sharp moving out with just a very small group of Medic and Marine. He's not going to push the full way across the map, it looks like. Instead, just going to hang out here in the front, although there isn't really much available for Hero. At the moment, he does have a few Hydras here. He's got a Sunken Colony, and he's blocked off the entrance to his third base. So those 2 assimilators have been killed. He's going to go ahead and kill, I think, the assimilators at the bottom left as well. That would make sense, but looks like he's got to deal with this push first. And with 4 lurkers, he should easily be able to deflect this. So Sharp, with his opening, able to deflect everything that Hero was trying to do in the early game. Oh, gets a Valkyrie. That's a big kill there. No more Valkyries have been made, so if he manages to pick off this next Valkyrie, he could just get completely routed by these Mutalisks that have been produced now. And I'm starting to really feel Hero's position here. I feel like he hasn't been tricked at all by this Valkyrie play. He's reacted perfectly to it so far. He's picked off that first Valkyrie. He hasn't lost anything either to the Vultures or this push, so he's got to be feeling really good here right now. He hasn't even lost a single Overlord yet. And he's coming up to try and snipe this next Valkyrie. It doesn't look like he'll be able to do it, but he's got to be feeling pretty darn good here right now with these 3 bases, with 2 macro hatches as well. His production is going to be pretty insane here in a moment. He's also going into Hive. Hero getting into the game that he likes to play. He is truly a macro player. Oh god, Sharp is trapped up against this wall. There's nowhere to run here, and every single Marine going to get annihilated. Oh goodness. Backing himself into a corner, literally. Sharp just gets completely crushed against those assimilators, and of course that egg that was probably nearly dead there. I wonder if focusing that egg down and then trying to run through might have been a better option, but this egg's take an incredibly long time to kill, so maybe it was a little bit too far off. Anyway, he loses everything for basically no trade. Hero back at home is defending, drops perfectly here. He has his Mutas and Scourge prepared and ready for that. Now going to bring them forward, try to get a kill on one of these science vessels if he can. He's going for it. Can he get it? Oh, he does get one on there, and he does get another one as well. Still running forward. He finally does manage to burrow. And this science vessel is super low. 19 HP, does manage to get away. Quite a big trade there of Lings and Mutas and Marines there, but not too many lurkers end up going down. I think 1 lurker fell during that engage, so Hero going to be feeling pretty good about trading that out for a science vessel there. So still chilling out here in the front. He's going to be trying to take his 4th base at the center right position. We'll see if he can hold on to that location. Looks like Sharp is intent on moving towards that area. We do have a Defiler behind this as well. Oh, the Scourge get picked off as well. There we go, a Dark Swarm there, but the Dark Swarm not covering everything. Really good spine, so good connections on those lurkers to wipe up a bunch of the Marines that are chilling here in the front. Now waves of Lings starting to be produced by Hero. He's got so many hatcheries to work with. Just spamming them out like crazy. Here we go. Double dropship. Gonna be the play from Sharp. We'll see if he can get in now that the Scourge and Mutus have been taken care of. Big surround here with just pure Ling. Should be able to clean up this army, actually. There's just not enough Marines available as 2 dropships fly around the top right. Oh, we've got some Scourge, boys. Scourge in the area, ready to take down these dropships, with the dropships skirting the vision of the Scourge, and managing to get here on the 4th base. I think this is a dead base. 4th base is going to get taken out here. With a stim and a quick kill, he should be able to finish that off. The eggs very, very close to being finished, but unfortunately not going to be in time. And Sharp takes out that base, so a very successful drop. Not killing many drones, but finishing off that base is a very nice consolation prize. He's even going to get in here and try to deal some more damage. Oh, gets on top of these lurkers before they burrow as well. Wow, getting a lot more than expected, as Hero kind of runs forward with some of his lurkers and doesn't really do much with them. This is a really great position to fight against Lings here as well. Sharp with a very, very tight grouping of Firebats and Marines, just keeping those units dealing damage and getting value throughout this trade. And look at this, the Marines in the back that are plagued, just using that Firebat to tank for them, dealing more and more damage. Is still yet to clean up here for Hero, so still dealing with that attack at the back. Maybe Sharp can get something done here in the front while this madness is going on. Another drop coming in here to the 3rd base, and the Nidus network is under threat. Oh, Hero's not paying attention. He's going to jump through the Nidus here quickly before it goes down. But it does end up going down, and all the Lings get cleaned up. Sharp is breaking into the natural at the same time with the D-Matrix Firebat in the front, just cleaning up house here. That last Nidus should end up going down. This Sunken Colony doesn't stand much of a chance either, and I think Sharp's done it. He's broken him. The 3rd base is about to die. More and more rallies coming across the map. A beautiful game from Sharp. The aggressive Terran just taking the fight to the Zerg and not giving him a moment's rest there. I think things were looking great for Hero right up until that drop came in and killed the 4th. The cleanup, even then I think he was still okay, but the cleanup from Hero, it just wasn't there. He just didn't have the units properly positioned to clean that up. 10 kill Firebat. Oh my god. Finally some ultras pop out, and this is a significant army. It's nothing to be sneezed at, but Hero, I think he's got this, man. He can keep pumping out. He can prevent the 3rd base from coming down from Hero again. As long as he stays on top of the drops, I think he should be fine. This is only 6 Ultralists, 6 Ultras and a Dream. What can Hero do with this? He's just going to go across the map and do his best to take down Sharp right now. At least give himself some breathing room here where he can get his 3rd base up once again. That drop still sitting over at the bottom center. I think that Sharp could absolutely pick that up and fly into the main and deal significant damage there. Triple irradiate. Oh god, all these ultras just getting irradiated. This is an insane number of Marine and Firebat as well. Another drop going out. Here's that Defiler. No energy Defiler. Wandering up towards the natural, isn't going to find anything. Looks like he has a Ling there to consume, but it doesn't appear that he's noticed that. He's still trying to fight here, but Sharp flying in to the center right base with 1 drop. He's got another drop down at the bottom center. I feel like he can just walk into the main here and deal irreparable damage. Hero sending all of his ultras back home to possibly defend this attack. We'll see how that goes. Focusing down the Nidus. A1 ultra pops out, but it's only got 22 HP. That's no good. Actually, if he just targets that down, he could absolutely kill that. Okay, he doesn't kill it. He instead targets down a few drones, which is fine. Drones at this point are an extremely valuable resource. Hero's been limited very, very badly in his drone count. He has lost a ton of those at the 3rd and 4th base. So He's struggling mightily here to put together a decent economy once again, while just holding things off the best that he can with the ultras he has in his possession right now. Looks like another defiler going to go down here, and another one. So really not much gas resource left over for Hero here. He's going to throw down one more Dark Swarm, but this is a losing battle right now. A third base has been secured by Sharp. Another Irradiate's going to come down. Look at this swarm of Science Vessels now that's just sitting here in the front, ready to irradiate every single Ultra and Defiler that pops out. Looks like this spot is not going to be broken for now, but this is not going to last forever. We've almost ran out here on the timer for this Dark Swarm, and the moment it runs out, I think that Sharp will ultimately overwhelm. There's another Irradiate here just to finish off the last few HP on that Ultra. He's going to push forward now and finish this game off. Huge overwhelming force here at the natural of Hero, who's clinging on but eventually will have to tap out. There's one more Defiler that pops out. He tries to get in consume, but just doesn't manage to get it off. There's that Ultra with 22 HP that was in the third base, does come back and gets immediately executed. GG. And Hero taps out Sharp. Takes that game. Okay, straight on to our next one here. We've got Mini versus Sharp on Odyssey. Mini spawning here in the top right-hand corner. We've got Sharp. Blue Terran down in the bottom left. This is that crazy new map, that double gas map. Two-player map as well, so we may end up seeing Mini coming across the map to steal the gas. He hasn't sent the probe yet, so I guess... Oh, there we go. He's sending the probe now. He is going to try and steal... No. Excuse me. He's probably going to put a gateway in the front? Okay, it's going to be gateway in the front here. Yeah, there's two gases, so you can't really steal. That's something I didn't think about, actually. Any two-player map, I just kind of immediately assume that there's going to be a gas steal. Yeah, look at that. Two gases. I guess you can just take your other gas, so it doesn't really matter. The other gas, of course, has much less resources in it, so we'll mine out faster, but that's probably not going to affect things too much here in this matchup particularly. Of course, it is nice to have that extra gas this turn, but... Yeah, okay, he actually takes that. Look at that. He doesn't want him to take that gas. That is funny. Even though he does have double gas, he does not want Mini to steal his good gas, I guess you could say. the gas with lots of money added. He doesn't want to have to spend more money to build that extra gas a little bit, to build that extra gas a little later, because he will have to build that eventually. He just sets that down preemptively, actually building it before his barracks. So that actually could be a bit of a problem. Delaying his barracks here might end up biting Sharp in the butt, because we do have a gateway in the front, so there will be Zealot pressure coming up here, and the timings for Marines when they're popping out, if you don't have them at the perfect time, things can start to get out of control, especially if you lose one Marine. You may end up in a situation where you start to really lose the early game just based on... Oh my god, 1 HP on that probe. Yeah, I was gonna say just based on the early timing of your Marine and when the Zealot arrives, but that probe does manage to escape. Kind of a miracle escape there, and the SCV here, he's trying to get a moving shot on that. Not the best idea when you've got only 1 HP, but he will end up leaving that SCV alone, and the SCV does see the Zealot coming in. There's only one Marine here on the ramp, and 1 Marine on the ramp is not going to save you here. You have to pull back, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to have a really hard time keeping the SCV alive if it doesn't path correctly across this factory, and it does not. It ends up going the completely wrong way there, and it gets right in the face of Mini. Of course, Mini doing a good job of darting in and out here, not taking too much damage on the Zealot. The second Zealot is about to arrive, and Sharp smartly pulls the SCVs just to get here in the front and push back these Zealots. He does not want to mess around with these anymore. Ooh, nicely done there. He almost pulls that SCV back, but Mini quickly targeting down that first SCV. He gets the SCV and backs away perfectly. I think that Sharp was also targeting the lower HP Zealot, but in the end, that SCV just goes down way too fast, and Mini manages to pull back in time. So we will have a Dragoon coming across the map now. I think a Vulture being produced here for Sharp. So we'll see if he actually wants to push out at all here. I don't think he can at this point. He might try to put some pressure anyway. Looks like he's going to run straight up, try to get some damage on this Dragoon. That was a pretty good volley from the from the Marines, and the Vulture actually getting some hull damage on that Dragoon, so it ends up being pretty worth it. Not allowing the Dragoon to just start kiting. He just gets out there in front of it and approaches the Dragoon at a time that Mini was not exactly expecting. That means he gets close enough to let all of his Marines fire at once, getting that little bit of extra damage there. Sorry, we're having some stuttering here. Hopefully that's not in the video, but my video was stuttering there a little bit. Could be a problem with the laptop there. Wow, he doesn't even lose a single Marine there. That's crazy. Okay, nicely done. Sharp pulling the Marines that are actually being hit. I wonder if that was intentional or just by pure luck there, but he had about 6 Marines, so he could only fit 4 inside the bunker, but he puts all the Marines that were being attacked, both the Marines that were being attacked, excuse me, into the bunker, and manages to save them all. So nicely done there. Good back and forth here in the beginning to start things out, but now I think we're going to have a little bit of downtime here as Mini decides what his next play is going to be. Is it going to be a quick third? Is it going to be a shuttle? Of course, there is that back natural for the third base for Mini. I think he's actually attacking the cannon at that location, the neutral base cannon. He's going to be throwing that down here pretty soon. There it is. The probe getting to work there. Does take a little while, but you can see cannons do not have that much HP. Even a probe will kill them in pretty good time if the cannon is not firing back. So he is going to eventually get that cannon. He will get the Nexus down. And we're going to advance into the next stage of this game. We're not going to have too much aggression here from Mini. We're not going to have much aggression from Sharp either. I didn't see a starport in his base right now, and Mini has a really nice contain here, not allowing any vultures to sneak out. And yeah, we're just going to have a little bit of downtime here. So it's a good time to talk to you guys about what I'm doing at the moment. I've been traveling here with my girlfriend across the country, as some of you guys know. We bought a van, a bus, decked out with camping equipment. We've been traveling for about a month now. I guess it's almost been 2 months, but unfortunately, things have not gone very well recently. Everything was going really, really nicely to start things out, but it's kind of taken a turn for the worst here, and situations really changed recently, and yeah, it's not going well, unfortunately. I don't have anything good to report, sadly, but if you guys want to know the full story, go ahead and check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel as well. It's a really good way to do it. But if you're not interested, don't worry about it. You can just get back into this game, as a shuttle is now flying into the natural. I don't see any turrets here in the natural, but it looks like Mini not interested. Oh, he's a huge mine shot there, and the first shot from the Reaver goes onto a Marine. This is catastrophic here for Mini, who was hoping to break the natural. Now would be lucky to not lose this Reaver and actually get a SCV or two. Oh my god, this is not going well. Mini constantly trying to drop off here and get some shots, but the siege mode finishes and he takes a pot shot on that Reaver, almost loses it. Oh man, that is not good. That was a very unfortunate turn of events there for Mini. I think maybe my PC is overheating here a little bit. Just getting a little bit of stuttering on the video, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys. I will try to fix that in the downtime. Could be with the recording as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I will try to address that problem here. Anyway, in the meantime, we're having a push here around the side of the map. This is interesting. Sharp is moving in a very strange pattern here around this side. He's looking towards the bottom right-hand corner. He's actually going to find a probe here, but no base to be seen. Mini's actually taking the back base, so I don't know what Mini's going to do with this information. He could potentially surround and kill this army, which would be huge. Ooh, a carrier transition here from Mini. That's interesting. And Sharp sets up on high ground down at the bottom right-hand corner. What is going on here? This is like an outpost location that's been taken by Sharp. He's setting up a missile turret as well. Very, very strange stuff, but this is not a position that can really be broken by Mini at the moment. He doesn't have Zealot speed. He can go for the natural, however, though, and this army cannot do anything at this moment. Can't walk down this ramp because the two Reavers. I feel like this is a check position if we're talking about chess. It's very, very rough here for Sharp. He cannot move that army for fear of those Reavers firing from low ground as he walks down. Okay, actually he left. Mini left with the Reavers there for a second. I really thought he was going to sit here right at the bottom of the ramp and just wait for these tanks and Marines to come down that ramp. And it would be so incredibly tough to deal with. Oh, 2 shots. He gets he gets 2 of the tanks. A third tank goes down as well. One more shot. Oh, he gets 1 last shot off as well. 3 tanks go down for 2 Reavers and a shuttle. It's an okay trade. It really kills this army, though, because 1 tank with these additional supporting units, it just gets annihilated by these Dragoons. He's going to lose 1 Dragoon here. He might lose a second. No, he gets high enough up on the ramp that the tank can't fire on that weakened Dragoon. And yeah, 1 tank, 1 Dragoon for a tank, 2 Goliaths, and a Vulture, and a Marine. That's a great, great trade there for Mini. However, this army is coming across the map. Sharp is going to try and make something happen here before carriers are out in full force. Again, we don't have Zealot speed, so breaking a big push could be a little difficult here, especially if he hits some mines. And he's already hit a mine. He's going to hit another one. Oh, luckily not losing anything to that second mine hit, but he's got to be a little bit more careful here. This is the only thing really keeping him alive until these carriers are out. First 2 carriers are here, but they're not ready yet. He needs to wait for some interceptors, and those second 2 carriers are going to be incredibly important here. That 4 carrier count is really the break point to where Terran can really take, or where Protoss can really start to fight with the carriers. It looks like Sharp, thinking better of his current trajectory, just going to turn around and walk back here. Looks like a single tank will be picked off. Maybe even a second if he can catch up to this. No, it looks like he will pull back. Sharp successfully retreating here across the map. Will be able to reposition and make a different engagement happen. We'll see where he wants to take that engage, because he's got to make something happen here pretty soon. We're getting into kind of scary carrier numbers. Number 3, number 4 are going to pop soon. And number 5, number 6 are going to be close behind that. Oh, another Stargate as well. Mini really feeling himself right now, feeling his position here. Adding cannons at the back, 3rd as well. He's not going to be dropped. He's not going to lose a ton of probes to anything silly here. He's going to shore up his defenses and get prepared for this attack. Now, a drop coming into the main base actually could do a lot of damage. There are the Reavers popping out. Reavers are a great way to deal with Vulture drops because they just clean them up so quickly, so efficiently. But meanwhile, a little bit of attack coming over here towards the 4th base of Mini. That Nexus is a little bit low. It is getting shelled by the tank right now. Looks like another mine gonna hit off here. Zealots finally do finish their speed and are going to be running forward into this tank line. Can he actually clear this? I think he can, with the Reavers coming up as well. Big targets here are going to get some good shots off, and the tank count is diminishing very, very quickly. Only one tank left over, and with this number of Goliaths mixed in with the carriers, or excuse me, this number of Dragoons mixed in with the carriers, he should be able to deal with just the pure Goliath force that Sharp is now fielding. Back at home, not too much going on here. Sharp just continuing to crank out mech units here as reinforcements for that first wave of attack. Let's see if he can find another positioning, another foothold somewhere here on the map where he can actually push out. It's going to be a little while, though, before he can get another push like that together because he's so low on tanks. He's actually added on his third gas now, so he is on a 3-gas economy, although not for long. He will, with that, be... Oh, getting a tank up here on the high ground. Nice. I actually did not know that this was droppable ground. That's super annoying. But anyway, he is going to be able to drop up there. Of course, the carriers are the perfect unit to deal with that type of drop. Does get a vessel as well. Oh, that's super annoying. Sharp using some of his gas gleaned from that second gas geyser in the main to pump out some vessels. They are very, very nice to have, but sacrificing a lot of gas in order to get that. Now the fourth base is actually going to go down. I'm surprised that Mini wasn't able to field another army in time to push back against this. He is going to have some army move around the left-hand side and potentially stop this third base from going down. So that's a nice consolation prize for Mini. Preventing his opponent's base from going down is very, very good. Especially considering he lost that base just now, but is this base actually going to be stopped here? Now there's only 3 Dragoons left. They're going after a tank, but they will absolutely die, and it looks like he is going to get this base up. So Sharp fighting mightily here. He's doing a really good job. The only problem, 7 carriers on the field. How on earth do you deal with this, especially with someone as skilled as Mini here? How can you actually make this work with Goliath, Tank, Vulture? It's very, very tough. There's so many ups and downs on this map. There's so many impassable terrain areas to deal with here, and Mini, his control is so damn good. It's so scarily good. His supply is just barely above Sharp right now, but it's not really telling the full story here because Mini's supply is mostly in carriers, and carriers, as you know, are incredibly powerful. Gonna be picking off quite a few Goliaths here, but this was not the best trade from Mini. Those Goliaths were dealing a lot of damage to the interceptors there of Mini, just gunning a ton of them down as they were trying to engage, and that's not really the best use of carriers I've ever seen. You really want to be picking off units at the edge of the vision. You want to be or at the edge of the pack. You want to be flanking from different locations, places where the Goliaths aren't. Try to pick off some tanks. Try to engage with the Goliaths with your Zealots and Dragons at the same time as your carriers as well. That's really the best way to do it. Now it looks like he's just buying time here, really, for more carriers to come out, because that mega force, that insane carrier army, that kind of death ball army, for lack of a better term, is coming soon here. Mini is getting very, very close to that 10-11 count of carriers, which is so impossibly difficult to stop. He spent a very large amount of money on those carriers, and he's lost quite a few observers as well. So there is a potential here for a Wraith switch from Sharp, although I don't know if he's going to go for it. Right now he's just focusing on tracking the carriers, not allowing them to go across the map here and try to do some sort of counterattack or something. Instead, he just wants to keep tracking them, keep moving with them, and prevent them from coming over here. try to prevent his opponent from getting a good engagement. Looks like an EMP went down on all the carriers. Wow, look at that. A carrier about to get picked off, does not manage to go down. Oh, he does get that in the end. Some good shots from this Reaver, though, on that grouped, clumped pack of Goliaths there in the front, just dealing massive, massive damage to them. I'd like to see an HP count on some of those, because I'm sure that a lot of them are very, very low. Now, Sharp, he still has a good number of tanks here. He's still got a good number of Goliaths. He could attempt to take out this 4th base once again. It looks like he will with a small group of units, but meanwhile, Mini moving around the top left-hand side of the map. He's going to go for the 3rd base. Looks like Sharp's 3rd base may be under threat here. Yeah, it's going to be super difficult for Sharp to do anything about this right now. His army is all the way on the other side of the map. The game of cat and mouse between Sharp's army and Mini's army has ended now. And it's going to be more of a base trade scenario here. Actually, Sharp is bringing his army back. Rather than base trade, he wants to come over here and try to stop this from occurring. And I feel like this is how so many Terran players wind up losing games. Of course, base trading is not really the greatest idea either, but massive, massive damage has been done to Sharp's economy. He lost his 3rd base. He doesn't have any minerals left over at his natural or his main, really. I think there might be like 1 patch, but that's soon to be gone. I think it might have just dried up now, and so he's just not bringing in any money. It's going to be very, very tough here to fight this carrier arm, which continues to grow. The 3rd base of Mini is still mining here. 4th base is now done. Okay, we got a base down here, and maybe Sharp can hold on if he manages to defend this, if he manages to get a good engage, but it's looking more and more desperate here for our Terran player. Sharp just pushing things back. Mini complete control right now. He's done such a good job of never over-engaging with his carriers, always staying back and just keeping his advantage here. The game of cat and mouse now will continue, with Sharp with a much smaller army than he had before, and Mini with a much larger carrier count and a much bigger gateway army as well. So pretty soon it's going to be Mini who's chasing Sharp around the map, or Sharp is just going to stand and fight and probably die. We'll see if that ends up happening. The 4th base does lose some probes that were on the way up there, but eventually that has been cleaned out. Looks like some army going up there as well. Oh, if a mine connects on some of those probes, that could be huge. I actually didn't see. We're not going to get a shot of it, but I saw there were some mines in the pathway of those probes, and army supply going up to that area. But yeah, like I said, not going to get a shot of that, so we don't see what could be a pretty important moment there. But in the end, I think that Mini's army is just way too big. Even if I think all the probes at the 4th base died right now, I still feel like Mini would be in a good spot, just based on the carrier count alone. As long as he's got some mining going, he can continue to replenish those interceptors. They're really not that expensive. And the really expensive thing is the Goliaths that continues to get picked off at the expense of just a few interceptors. Like this, he's just gonna pick off a Goliath, another Goliath there. That's a lot of money to be losing right now. That's 300-400 maybe minerals that was just lost by Sharp, plus gas as well. Whereas Mini just lost maybe 100-200 minerals of interceptors there. So every single trade is going to be going in the favor of Mini for now, until Sharp can force an engagement somewhere. And that's, I think, what he's trying to do now. Moving across the map here, he has entered the center area of the map, and therefore Mini going to go around the side and threaten the counterattack immediately. Immediate threat of this counterattack. A great D-Matrix there. Going to buy a couple of seconds, though, only for these for that poor tank, and all the All of the science vessels going down here. Mini really stepping into the middle now with his full army. He does lose one carrier, but it's small change right now for Mini, who's got I think 8 carriers right now, and he's probably got more in production as well. It's like diving forward. Maybe another carrier could end up going down. No, he falls back in time. Sharp just gonna have to back away. Really, without getting anything out of that exchange, just a single carrier killed and pushing Mini away. But the exact same thing is likely to happen again. The moment that Sharp starts to move out, Mini's going to move around that army and just threaten the counterattack once again. And Sharp will be kind of forced to respond here. This is a very painful situation to be in as a Terran player. I definitely can sympathize. I guess you could call me an ex-Terran player. This matchup is just way too annoying for me. Absolutely started to hate Protoss after playing Terran for even a few months after the release of Remastered. Just had to give it up, but looks like more and more Goliath's gonna go down here. Yeah, just so painful. Look at how much money is being lost here for Sharp. And supply as well, whereas Mini is just losing 2, 3 interceptors here and there. No damage on his carriers. He's just chilling back, darting in here. There's another tank, there's another tank, there's another tank, and it makes the other player look so bad. It makes Sharp look so bad that he's losing all of these tanks, that he's losing all of these Goliaths, but there's really nothing that can be done. He's doing the absolute best that he possibly can in this situation, but he's just inevitably losing every single Goliath, every single tank, and now Mini gonna threaten the counterattack once again. Even though the army's not moving across the map, it is out on the map. So of course, what do? We threaten the counterattack immediately here, and we're gonna go right up into the main base now that Sharp has not moved his army in time. And where is it better to fight the Terran than over top of their own production with Goliaths, with Dragoons and carriers on high ground? What are you going to do? This is checkmate here. Mini is going to take this game now. You just can't walk up this ramp, man. This ramp is a killer. Those Goliaths are going to fight you every step of the way. Or those Dragoons. I keep mixing up Dragoon and Goliath. I don't know what's wrong with me today. But yeah, these Dragoons are going to fight your Goliaths every step of the way. The carriers are going to be sitting over top of these factories, being an absolute nuisance, killing off tons and tons of Goliaths and tanks, and GG is finally called. Mini takes that game. Sharp taps out, finally taking down that second to last Terran player. Now, 1-1, guys. We've got one player left for each race. A nicely balanced first week of this season of the KCM. Fantastic. I love to see it. We've got Mini versus Soma that's coming up next. All right, now this is a fantastic match. I love it. We're gonna have Mini versus Soma coming up next. This is a dream match here. These two players are so insanely good, and PvZ is a very interesting dynamic matchup. We're gonna have, I think, a great best of one here on this massive map. Vermeer. Plenty of locations to take around the map. Plenty of room for a deep, dynamic late game. So crossing the fingers here, hoping that we'll get to that point. We've got Soma in the top left, and of course Mini in the top right. Starting out with the gateway first here in the front. Gonna put on that pressure. A 12 hatchery, just normal play here coming out of Soma. He's gonna have to deal with this first Zealot, which is gonna be a bit of a pain. Those Lings are not gonna be out in time, and he hasn't done anything to slow down the Zealot at all. Namely, bringing a probe forward and, you know, stop positioning it in front of the Zealot or anything. So he is gonna have to take this and use his micro to try and prevent any drones from going down here, which will be difficult. Looks like he gets a great mineral walk there on top of that first zealot. Fantastic displacement there on that first zealot, making sure it cannot get any extra hits there on those drones, and buys enough time to let these zerglings out. Look at that beautiful positioning as well on the spawning pool there. Just you just can't go past with these with the zealot there. You cannot get onto that corner mineral patch and deal any damage. So Mini loses that zealot. He kills like 2 lings, I think, for 2 zealots and a probe. This has gone very, very well here for Soma so far. I thought I fixed that issue, but it seems like we're still having a little bit of a stutter there. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Try some other things to try and get that issue worked out. Apologize again for that, guys. Now we've got a Hydraless Den on the way. A 2-base Hydra play? Oh my god, this is not what I was hoping for. It looks like someone wants to end this very quickly with some early aggression, but let's see if Mini can go out and do anything. I mean, he's already lost so many zealots. He's really behind at this point. Looks like the gateway is just barely going to go down as the cannon finishes up. Not going to have any opportunity to dive forward, but that's a great pick off there. Killing that gateway is massive. It's going to really hinder Mini's zealot production here. He's not going to want to move out with those zealots either, which is a big factor. And it could help Soma here to get the jump on Mini with his Hydraless production. Now, I don't see any Hydras coming out yet, and actually the Corsair is now coming out. So Corsair, gonna traverse this map, gonna come across here and see the Hydraless Den, and that should be it, really. Wait a second. Oh no, he's gonna start attacking this Overlord. No, he needs to get this scout off. Mini being a little bit greedy here. Okay, a Hydraless is out in the front. And is he gonna get the Overlord? He's still gonna get it? Oh my god, he gets the Overlord. He sees the Hydra. And he's just gonna build some more cannons back at home. Wait, come on, where's the cannon? Okay, got 1 cannon coming. This is a decent number of Hydras. You can't disrespect this and hope to live. Although it is a very, very quick Hydra attack. This is kind of a crazy quick Hydra build. I'm not sure where this one is coming from. Also, I didn't even realize, guys, funnily enough, that Mini didn't get his Nexus until just now. That's a very strange build as well. Going for that super duper early Corsair there, and ends up getting the Overlord. Man, I'm really not familiar with these 2 builds or how they work. This is not how normal ladder games are played. This is not how a lot of ASL games are played either. Or most ASL games, I would say. Very, very rarely do you ever see single gateway and then into Corsair, especially gateway in the front. It's just so strange here, but that is the build that we have going right now, and I think that Soma's done a great job of really countering it nicely here, going for those early Hydras, picking off this wall. He's going to be able to deny, I believe +1 was denied. I don't even think it was actually running at that time, but yeah, a new forge has to be built in the main. There is the threat now that, well, someone could just run in and start killing off cannons. You can't really discount that, so more cannons will have to be built here. He is getting through and seeing that a transition is coming, so he's probably not going to build too many more cannons. 4 is probably enough. It's still a bit scary, but it's a good number. 3 HP left on that Corsair. Oh, so close. That 1 kill Corsair is still very important here for Mini to continue to scout things out and make sure he knows what is coming here for some of the next stages of the game. So yeah, just keeping an eye on that drone count even is super, super important. So he's got to keep that alive. He's got to keep moving that around, and don't run into any more groups of Hydras there, because this thing is very, very close to going down now. We've got that Spire, of course. Is there going to be a Mutilus transition? The 2 gas is telling me probably yes. We're going to see some Mutas pop out here and take on any Zealots that attempt to leave. It's going to force more cannons as well. It's going to force more Corsairs. There's no Corsairs being built for Mini. That's a little bit of a scary situation. No more Corsairs have been built. We're just moving out with a few solitary Zealots here. Of course, they do have speed, but Corsair almost goes down. If there was a bunch of Mutas popping out right now, I don't know. I think that Mini may just have to tap out, because he really doesn't have the resources to deal with that. He does not have the cannons in the mineral line. He does not have additional Corsairs. He's gonna lose so many probes if that does come in. So we'll see if that's what someone wants to do. Oh my god, great micro there. Really professional micro, keeping those keeping that one Corsair alive for now. Now, still no transition here from Soma. He's just focusing on getting these Hydras out, focusing on staying on top of the Zealot force. Looks like a small force of Zealots manages to make its way into the 3rd base, and this could deal a lot of damage. Really good control with the drones here, just blocking positions, making sure that these Zealots can't easily dive on top of the Hydras. Great movement with those drones. Absolutely beautiful play with that. Now, a couple of Dark Templars migrate here into the main base, but there are 2 Overlords in position, and they spot that coming in, and he will be able to pull away immediately. That's some good damage, though. Quite a few drones go down. I'm not sure if it's enough to justify the shuttle plus the 2 DTs, but it's something anyways. Getting a little damage onto his opponent, and hopefully he can go somewhere with that. Really nice job there, tracking and down and killing that DT. It's so often that a DT will slip off into a dark corner of the main base and then come walking back in at an opportune time. But Soma, he sees 2 DTs and he tracks down both of them, makes sure that he manages to pick them off, so you won't have any further problems in the future with those. Now, adding on more drones, really droning up into a very scary amount of economy here. It's gonna be ridiculously tough now for Mini to do anything in this game with lurkers out on the map. With these Hydras coming over here too, we could end up seeing a contain going on here from Soma. Just Mini, he's going to be completely stuck in his natural if he doesn't do something quickly here. Good move forward here with the Dragoons, but he doesn't have an observer yet, and so he can't walk forward and try to snipe one of these. He's got some Templar. I don't know if he has Storm quite at this moment. He's already invested a lot into not only that Robo, but also a ton of Templar, plus those 2 DTs, so really using up probably all the gas he's mined so far. He needs to get an observer out though here shortly, so he can start to try and push out. This is a huge Dragoon force. Oh my god, that's so many Dragoons. He hasn't built even a single Zealot since his initial push out there, and it's just pure Dragoon force. I wonder if he's going to be able to break through with this. I feel like it's the perfect force to take it down a bunch of lurkers here in the front. It's absolutely fantastic, but will he be able to do it? There are quite a few Hydras backing this up. Now the Hydras have actually backed away. Oh my god, so many pylons being built. I think Mini just realized he is insanely supply blocked right now, 106, and he just put down like 8 pylons. Oh my god, this is like one of my games right now. So many pylons going down here. A bit of a misstep there by Mini. Hopefully it's not going to cost him this game, because he's nearing the point where he really should be trying to break out here rather than sitting waiting for additional units to pop out and for that supply block to end, but it does now finish up. He's got a ton of open supply now, up to 154. He's going to push forward. All the lurkers being pushed back. Yeah, this pure Dragoon force is really, really good in this situation. Oh, he almost gets the Observer, but just not quite. That Observer, great dodging on it. Oh, storms come down, but he accidentally storms his own Templar there. That was a weird storm, that last one. And these mutas have successfully picked off the Templar and pushed everything back. There are some more storms here, must be. Storm on these Hydras. No, everything forced back into the natural. Mini is on the back foot once again with no Observer. And of course, a bunch of Templars being lost there. Also, a heavy blow for our Protoss player. These mutas doing a good job keeping active on the map, just picking off some of these zealots. But the real story here is the Dragons are actually out of the main base. That's great. Able to break this contain. Mini can now be active on this map. He's got a good amount of Dragons to fight against the Hydra, but oh my god, oh, another Templar gets picked off. He only brought one with this army. He really needs an Archon, but has refused to build one so far. Nicely done with that storm, dealing a ton of damage to these mutas, but Soma's control absolutely immaculate. His micro is crazy. His macro is out of control here. 146 applied to 99. Oh, it's so painful. Oh, Mini, what is he gonna do, man? I don't think he can take a third base. I think that Soma is gonna completely overwhelm here. Look at all the Hydras just pouring out across the map. Just take a look at the mini map right now. It is completely full of blue. These, oh god, these mutas are just gonna fly in as sacrificial lambs here, just going in to take those storms for the Hydras, which are gonna follow up here and finish off every single army unit from Mini. That last Dragoon surviving with just a few HP. No, it does not. Tracked down and killed here as Soma closes the noose around Mini's neck, forcing him back into his natural once again, maybe for the last time here. There is so much army supply out here on the map for Soma, building a lurker egg. Insult to injury here. Building a lurker egg on the spot where the Nexus should be thrown down, just delaying that. Picks off another Templar. More mutas have been produced as well. There's a lot of money in the bank here for Mini, but he's got no hope, I think, of building up enough to deal with this mass number of Hydras. There's no storm here, so Hydra's gonna fight so well against the Dragoons that have been amassed here, and GG is finally called. Mini taps out, and Soma eliminates the final Protoss player from this week of the KCM. Straight on into our final match here. It's going to be JYJ versus Soma. Can we get a Terran win here in week number 1? A change in the fortunes for sure if JYJ manages to take down Soma here. Last season was extremely tough for the Terran race. They had a very hard time making any progress in the KCM, so this would be a big change of pace. I think JYJ may be the man who can take down Soma here. He's been playing very well lately, but we'll see if he can clutch it out for the Terrans. I think Sharp has really done a fantastic job of carrying this week. He's brought them to this point, and all JYJ need to do is jump this final hurdle to make it to the finish line. Looks like we've got an early pull here out of Soma. Looks like an overpull from him. Going to be able to put on some early pressure. Won't be experiencing any bunker rush here. Absolutely not, because JYJ would get completely smacked down. However, JYJ is building a Nice little wall on his side of the map, and he's scouting in the proper direction, so everything pointing to JYJ being in a good position in this early game. He's gonna see his opponent. Oh wait. Oh, seriously? He turned his SCV around and went down to the bottom right? That is hilarious. Oh no. Oh no, he was looking for the first overlord. The first overlord's headed to the bottom right, so he didn't see any overlord. Therefore, he turned his SCV around and sent it down to the bottom right here. That means he's not going to see these lings popping here. And could be in a little trouble if he's not behind this wall with an SCV above this supply depot in time. We'll see if he manages to get that out. Okay, only 2 lings popped so far, so maybe Soma just... No, he's got 2 more lings. Do we have 6? Do we have 6? No, so far not. Yeah, there's another 2, so he's got 6 lings out. A second SCV. Okay, second SCV is heading out on the map. It's going in the right direction. Okay, it sees the overlord. What is he doing with this SCV? He needs to see these Zerglings. Oh god, the Zerglings are going around. The Zerglings are going around. Oh, the 2 Marines are out as well. Okay, Marines get behind the wall. There we go. Nicely done. The Marines do get behind that wall. If those 2 Marines were coming out to kill that overlord and these 6 lings connected with them, this game could be over already. Oh my god, he's going to run by. I think that these lings are just going to be sacrificial. Only 1 Marine dies. Yeah, that was not the best play there from Soma. I think after being spotted there, after JYJ had the correct response, trying to dive in, not the best idea, but he does go for it anyway. These 3 Marines are headed across the map now. Gonna try and force some more lings out at least. 2 lings gonna come here into the natural. Maybe he can get this 1 kill. Single Marine in a little bit of trouble here. Second Marine does pop. And nice, very, very nice micro there with the SCV. Actually, was that SCV even being microed? I think it was. I think it canceled building there just for a moment and then went straight back to building after disrupting those lings, forcing them, or actually, excuse me, disrupting that SCV, and now these Marines just sitting out here on the map just because the Overlord can't see them over here. These Marines are not planning on going across the map. They're not planning on hiding behind the wall. They're just out there to create the possibility that they could come in and deal damage to Soma. So he does a good job of that, just creating that ambivalence on the map, that ambiguity, excuse me, on the map. Making sure that he just doesn't know where those Marines are. Now he's produced a few extra links, not an overproduction of links though, mind you. So Soma's still reacting pretty nicely to this. He's got his 2 Hachimuta coming here. He's got that second gas. He's got the right number of drones. And he will be able to produce 6 mutas, I believe, the moment that this Spire finishes up. So we are going to see that power spike here from Soma coming across and trying to deal that bit of economic damage that he is known to do. He's just very, very strong with these mutas, and this is a perfect position for these SCVs to be at. It's super hard to get into a good spot here to defend these SCVs. Those 2 mineral patches at the top are very, very difficult to defend. It's not as bad as down in bottom right on this map. If you're down bottom right and your opponent is Zerg in the center left, it is just so tough to defend your natural mineral patches. They are extremely far forward, right next to that water, and it's just very, very tough. This is still going to be... It's still going to be a pain in the ass for JYJ to hold this off, though. Soma now here in the front, just the first few mutas coming up. There's an abundance of turrets being built right now. 4 turrets in the natural already. So many turrets here, and a big reaction from JYJ. I think, honestly, an appropriate reaction in this circumstance. He knows that he's in a pretty good spot right now. Soma's going to be looking for ways to get back into this game. Queen's Nest is going to be his decision, so that's a little bit scary, just going straight into Hive. We did see a scan there. I'm not sure what he scanned. Probably the natural and now the main, and he should now know exactly what is coming here. He's going to start to send his Marines and medics across the map. Just going to put on that pressure, force Soma to come back here and actually fight. Oh, really, really good. A movement there from JYJ, hanging out in the fog of war there and catching the mutas as they come back towards the natural there. Now JYJ again just sitting here in the fog of war. He's not moving forward at all. Of course, now Soma does have some lings in front of this, out in front, so he will know when this moves. But there's some ambiguity on the map. He's not sure exactly where these Marines are right now. He's going to keep moving around. There could be a few Marines broken off and moving around this group of lings, trying to get in there and deal some damage. Nice targeting on these mutas. Oh my god, 3 mutas go down just for a couple of Marines. That is terrible, terrible news for Soma, who is really, he's very well known for his immaculate mutalist play, and especially with this build 2-hatch muta, but he's just not really showing it playing up to his full potential here. Losing a lot of mutas against this group of Marine Medic, which continues to grow and just chill here in the natural, just outside the natural, where they have the potential to counterattack, but don't necessarily have to. He can continue to just sit here and wait for the next move of Soma, while putting on that pressure indirectly by just not having his opponent know where his Marines are. He has to continuously check on them, figure out where they're at, and react to where these are moving. Now an armory coming up here. It's going to be some Valkyrie play. Oh, he's getting an armory and a science facility. Interesting. So maybe just a single Valkyrie into science vessels? I'm not sure what this is. It's rare to see armory and a science facility building at the same time, but he's going for it right now. Got +1 here for these mutas. Oh yes, Defiler Mound is on the way. This is going to be an all-in from Soma. Of course, you can see no third base at the moment. He's been relying on his mutalist control to just keep his opponent back until he can get Defilers and Lurkers out on the map. And there's the first few Lurkers being spawned. They are going to come across the map and try to end this game. If this doesn't work, Soma's absolutely donezo. So he definitely has to break the natural here. No real if, ands, or buts about it. If it doesn't end up working, he is going to be screwed. He will have to tap out. There's the first Valkyrie getting a good volley there on the front few mutas. Now, no more mutas being produced here. It's just pure Lurker. And, of course, a couple of Defilers going to be popping out shortly. There are tanks being produced, tanks coming out. No science vessel just yet, but that should be on the way here shortly. We have only 1 Valkyrie. Just a single Valkyrie in the front. That's going to be enough to kind of deter these mutas here for now. These mutas, if they decide to engage, are going to have to kill that Valkyrie first, because the amount of splash damage it does to the muta group is kind of... It's kind of unforgivable. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's the only way that JYJ could lose right now, is a bunch of hold position Lurkers. If he manages to walk on top of them and get his entire army erased, he could absolutely lose this game. I say the only way. There are multiple ways still that this could go in Soma's favor, but that would be one of the most brutal and kind of magnificent, I guess, ways to end up falling. Is just walk straight up on top of some Lurkers. Now he's going to run forward with the Lurkers. The Dark Swarm is here. The first tank is going to get picked off. We're going to have another Dark Swarm here in a second. There it is. Oh, one of the Lurkers actually walking too far forward does get picked. Another couple of consumes will go down. Some more Lurkers are going to run forward here, trying quickly to make his way towards this natural. I think that JYJ is doing a good job of moving around this army, though. He needs to head north, try to get out of the way of this. Ooh, tries to right-click down that Defiler, but doesn't manage to do it. Now a Dark Swarm right here in the natural. That's going to be extremely painful. Another Dark Swarm there on this tank and bunker area. Now JYJ going to move around this army here. He wants to get behind this and try to cut off any reinforcements that are making their way towards this natural. Oh my god, what is going on with these Marines? Marines just wandering into a death trap there. Tons of lurkers and lings surround and kill this whole army, and JYJ was looking pretty good. Up until this point, just loses a massive chunk of army. No counterattack option available anymore for him. With those, with that army being cut off, he is in a really tough spot now. Another Dark Swarm gonna go down here. More lurkers making their way into the natural. He's using his mutas, but they've just about been used up. There's nothing really left of that muta army. Gonna get this last tank as well. It does go down, and some SCVs are gonna start to fall here. More and more lurkers morphing. They are bunched up on top of each other, kind of being killed there. Whoa, we've got some more mutas coming in as well. He gets a science vessel. Really, science vessels are kind of the only way that JYJ can clear this now. Nothing's going to be hitting here under Dark Swarm, so he just runs forward. Oh man, those spines were amazing. Crushing that army, crushing that the siege tank there, and another Dark Swarm is going to go down. Of course, a ton of Firebats pop out, but they are no match for these lurkers. Oh, this is looking very, very bad indeed. JYJ on the brink of collapse here as the last Dark Swarm gets thrown down on top of his production. More and more lings just piling in here. Lurkers are going to be on top of these SCVs in a second as well, just killing them all off. There's no production that can leave these barracks without being sprayed by spines from these lurkers. Another Dark Swarm goes down. It's right on top of this command center now, and he's going to be picking off these last few Marines. He's going to be finishing off the SCVs here, and there's nothing JYJ can do to stop him. GG! Soma takes that game, finishing this week of KCM, and another Zerg victory to start things off here. Zerg, of course, doing very well previous seasons. At least, I guess you can say Terran got 1 point. They came in second place. They managed to put a point on the board. That's better than I can say for the first 7 weeks of last season. So they've already started things off. They've already had a better start this season than the previous. It is, it's not the best. It would have been nice to see JYJ take a win there. It seemed like he had that one, really. I felt like he was in a very good spot. He was dealing a lot of damage to the mutas. He got that force of Marine Medic around behind the counterattack. I can't explain to you guys how all in that attack was from Soma. If anything had gone wrong during that attack, if any of the reinforcing units had been picked off, if he'd been prevented from reinforcing that for just a few extra seconds, he could have cleaned that up and pushed it back, and he should have been able to take that game, but he made a few small mistakes. And really, that's all it takes in the midst of an all-in to end up losing your army and to end up losing the game. All right, well, that was a great week. We're going to go to our final screen, our score screen, guys. It's coming up. All right, here are your point rankings, guys. We've got 2 points for the winning squad. Zerg pulling ahead here. Terran gets 1 point, and of course, Protoss with 0. We're going to have 8 weeks of the regular season of KCM, followed by semifinals and a finals. Guys, if you haven't watched, or if you don't know about this series, if you haven't watched it before in the past, I've got a great explanation video on my channel. It's on the front page. If you go ahead and check me out, give me a subscribe and a like. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. It's much appreciated. Thanks to all the subscribers on Patreon as well. Love you guys, and have a great week, guys. Hopefully everything's going well for you out there. I'll see you guys in the next video.